Hello and welcome back to the Runaway American UK edition. Today we are checking out, is the British military really the best in the world? Jason Fox, The Big Jim Show. I believe these are two Americans speaking about it, but I'm curious to hear their thoughts of why they're even, like, what they're discussing, why it's a question. Is it, like, 100% true? Do they agree with it? And let me hear what they have to say on the matter. It's interesting. I'm not really sure of how to classify necessarily what the best military would be in the world, but I have watched a lot of the British military and do know they're not someone you mess with. Absolutely.
The British military army
so he's
be the
British.
best.
Okay.
There is this thing around, it is still the best. I've seen a load of stuff that you've done, but maybe just we'll talk about that, why the British military is the best. Again, it's a story that you've told loads. I have this thing that, I might have seen you speak about this before, but maybe the environment that we live in. So a lot of Scots are in the special forces because they grew up on the streets of Glasgow in piss wet rain conditions, no food or eating dirty doner kebabs off the floor. So they're ready. They can live in any environment.
Glasgow's a great place.
Edgy. It's
Okay,
cultured
so they
there.
are both
It's
British.
going on.
Okay.
Hippie.
It's still edgy, mate.
Yeah, it is edgy.
Fear for my life up there. It's only because I've got an English accent.
Imagine me going over.
Yeah, but you're Scottish.
Yeah, but they don't believe that. I did an event in
You're
Glasgow.
like that. You got Hamilton plastered across.
My name's Jim Hamilton. That's a Scottish name. They're not having it, especially in Glasgow. You have to have the accent and be able to walk the talk.
Why are the Brits the best? Which they are.
Are we really?
There's a few reasons. Now, we haven't got the most money, so we don't have the best kit.
Who has? I'm going to keep breaking it down.
Yanks.
Okay, of course.
The Americans.
They
sorry.
look good. They do look good, though.
They have got a huge budget to plough into research and development, equipment, training. But the Brits are the best for a few reasons. People aren't going to like this one, but we've been fucking scrapping since we started to look at warfare for 1,000 years-ish. Okay, so the one thing the Brits are good at is everyone says Brits are arrogant. On the world stage, they might seem like that because it's a small little island that has, gone out and done stuff, good or bad, doesn't matter. Ignore that bit. They've gone out and done stuff. Every time it's fucked up, gone wrong, they've got the fucking presence of mind to look at what's gone wrong and rewrite doctrine, rewrite tactics, rewrite standard operating procedures. They're like, that didn't work. They've got a very, very grown-up mentality towards pursuing excellence, shall we say. So there's all that time where they're, even if we didn't think we were doing it, each time something didn't work out, there's structure, there's procedure, there's discipline within that. Add into that now, in sort of like the modernish era, where we train is fucking horrible. It's easier training in the Arctic. Okay, it's cold. If you do something wrong, you're going to freeze your tits off and your fingers will probably fall off. And you might die of hypothermia. If you're in the desert, it's dry. It's easy to operate in. Yes, you might, if you're not on the ball, dehydrate and spank him from heat exhaustion. But here, it's all of that. It's muddy. It's disgusting. It's uncomfortable. And it is a big shock when you first join up as a young recruit. It was for me as a 16-year-old recruit. I got myself into reasonably fit, fit physical state, and I thought I was all over it. I thought I was prepared. I was ready to throw it in. My admin wasn't good because I was 16. Then you go in the field, and it's fucking miserable. And you get into your sleeping bag, and it's piss wet through, and you just. Your fingers are falling apart. They're like splitting. And I was like, I'm falling apart here. Like, what the fuck? And you dig in a shell scrape to sleep in and it's full of water. And it's nasty. It's not nice. And and yet you learn how to operate in that. And because of where we train, Scotland, Wales, up the northeast, you've got a place called Otterburn, all those places, no one enjoys going there. It's fucking horrible. And we'll go up there and spend 10 days, 2 weeks in the field. And it's grim. And I think because of those things combined, I think we are. We're grown up enough to know, and you create hard fighting forces.
Who else? Who's good? Below that.
The Americans are good because they've got a lot of commitment to what they believe in.
Very patriotic.
Very patriotic. Something I'm jealous of.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that American side of things as well, because
it's interesting what's going on at the moment. It's quite a divided place at the moment, but I'd like to think that they still have that patriotism, because I think it stands for something.
They have the patriotism towards the country and the flag. Whoever is in charge, that's the sense I get from the country. And towards their military personnel. I know we have that.
I think it's like interesting because I think a lot of you have stated how patriotic you are to like being British, and I think that that's a wonderful thing. I think your patriotism doesn't waver necessarily because of the fact that you do believe in what your country stands for, good or bad. They've done amazing things and they have continued to do amazing things. It's kind of like, as he said as well, that when your military screws up, when shit doesn't work out, they recalculate. They step back. They look at it from an outsider's point of view. Like, what didn't work? Like, how can we reframe this, fix this to make it work better, right? Like, let's not make the same mistakes again. I think the U.S. is in not that position at all. Yes, we do have the good kit, as he said. And the patriotism, I do think our military is quite patriotic. The people who join our military, usually it's like one of two things. It's either like you kind of had nowhere to go, so you went into the military in the U.S., or it's you're extremely patriotic. It's kind of one of the two. It's not really like there's not as much in between, I feel like. It's not necessarily, it's either you feel like a sense of duty and you're very like a big patriot, or you don't have a lot in life, so you're just trying to look for a way out because of the fact that you can get like 4-year degree, you have health insurance, you have a place to live. These are all things that are kind of needed obviously in American life. So a lot of young men, young women as well, I'm sure, but like especially young men, many of my cousins who kind of came from nothing, had nowhere to go, they joined the military, or because they just didn't know what to do with life, right? As far as the patriotism, I do think it's extremely divided in our country. I think that from what you guys have said, it's getting more divided in British, but it's funny the way he says he's jealous of the patriotism. I think that our country, yes, we have like a thing to the flag or something. I think our own patriotism sometimes can be the thing that kind of like stabs us in the back. Instead of like taking a cold hard look at like the things that are wrong with our country, we like instead tend to put a Band-Aid over a bullet hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're very much like, oh, we're the best country, we're the best at this, we're the best at that, and we're really not. Like, the only thing I think that we actually do outrank everyone in is the amount of people that are jailed and our military spending. I think that's the only things I believe. That's the only things, I could be wrong, that's the only things that we actually excel in and are number one in. And incarceration rates and military spending, not really the best. I feel like when we have so many homeless veterans, so many people we can't take care of in our own country, healthcare is an issue. You guys have seen me, I reacted to 7 free things in the UK. I do know that NHS is not free, you pay it from taxes, but our taxes take care of nothing. Plus we have another like if you have like a family, you pay about $1,000 a month in insurance. Plus you have co-pays. So every time you go to the doctor, you're paying between $20 and $50. You go to the emergency room, you're paying $100, $150. And then if you have surgery or something, you're getting billed $2,000 to $3,000. You know, the list goes on and on and on. And if you don't have health insurance, well, you're dead, basically. So I think that the patriotism thing is very much it's almost to our detriment in many areas. We use it as a way to blind ourselves to the faults that we have in the United States, whereas British, and he's saying he's jealous of the fact that they don't have patriotism. You guys are so patriotic. The ones that I talk to on here, you guys are so patriotic, but I think that you guys are also not blind. You know that there's issues, and you don't use your patriotism to hide behind your issues. You know that there's issues, you point them out. You're the first to say so. You're like, okay, no, like, you love our country. I do love your country. I think your country is fantastic. I know that every country has issues. I'm not an idiot. I'm not that naive to believe that there's one country in the world that has no issues and everything's perfect. Every country has its own issues. But I think that you guys have a patriotism that is to be respected, in the sense that you are patriots. You do support your country. You love your country, but you also know that there are things wrong that you need to change. Whereas in the US, I feel like you're either a patriotic person who believes nothing needs to change, everything's perfect, or you're a person who's not really patriotic because you're so fed up with the regime in the country and the way that things are run in the United States. As a person who's lived outside of the United States for 7-8 years, I've gone back for visits and things such as that, and I've seriously debated moving back twice. But each time I go back, and within days there's some horrible mass shooting or some terrible thing that happens, and once again, the memories from childhood don't negate the fact that the country is no longer recognizable. So I do agree with him in the patriotism is a wonderful thing, but I think that don't be jealous of our patriotism, because in most cases that I know of, at least, it's to the detriment, not to our benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where we're in such a bad place right now because people don't want to admit that there's an issue. So that's my own take. Obviously, do with it what you will.
Kind of snippets, it doesn't feel the same. No. Any big sporting occasion, it is servicemen and women front and centre, just deep-rooted affection and respect for,
I don't know where that comes
their
from.
Country. They're a bit cheesy is the wrong word, but because they're a bit cheesy, but they latch on to them emotional kind of fundamentals of what the country is built on. They're a fairly new country as well. America are, and you think of the wars that they've had, kind of historically, the modern wars that they've been involved in has had a big effect on that country. And Afghanistan is the big one, with 9/11 actually unfolding in New York on their soil.
Yeah,
that they've had some big moments in around this kind of modern.
I think they're definitely patriotic. Us less so. I tell you what, the America I like about that place is they, as far as I'm concerned, this is only my opinion, they celebrate success. They celebrate it. I don't think we do it that much here. We almost like, oh, how's he got that? Like, as opposed, you know what I mean?
That's exactly. I'm looking at a load of stuff in America around the podcast and the show, and rugby's going there in 7 years. So I've been looking at loads of stuff of how they deliver message, how they interact, how they interview, how they put on sport, whether or not it be college, American football, Super Bowl, UFC, boxing, whatever the sport is. They're just unapologetically confident. And that comes across is in how they celebrate. With the most superficial, the wooing on anything.
No.
I saw a clip at the weekend around the college. I think it was Georgia beat Texas, and the coach was one of the most whoa, and he's there, he's on camera.
It's passion though, isn't there?
It's passion. Yeah. And it's passion, and they celebrate everything.
And we're like that. Look at that prick.
Exactly that. I said to my mates,
I prefer to look at the prick.
I said, we need Steve Borthwick and Marcus Smith doing this when Marcus drops the goal to beat South Africa.
Yeah.
Like, this
in their
needs to come
faces.
out. In their
but you
face,
should be
whooping
doing
and hollering.
that. Why are we celebrating it?
It's a humility. That's what it is. But I don't know whether it's that.
I think it needs to be. You need to employ it every once in a while. But there's a time and a place. But I think we need to have a bit more fucking.
Yeah.
Maybe
especially for this kind of stuff, and glorify our military and glorify being a part of something, a band of brothers, a
Now,
band
do
of
you guys not believe that like you celebrate your military? Because I believe you, like the military things that I've seen, like the events that I've seen and such. I think it's celebrated beautifully. I think they're honored beautifully. I don't know if it's celebrated enough. I don't believe we celebrate. Yes, we have them at sporting events. It's not necessarily a celebration though of them. It's more of just like we bring them out to do like a flag salute or something, and then we sing, our national anthem. But I'm not really sure. Do you guys believe that there needs to be more of a military presence in your sporting events? As like a celebration to them? Do they need more events to celebrate them? I respect it, but if they need, like, if you feel that they need more, I totally 100% understand where you're coming from. That being said, I don't think that we have that much celebration in ours. Like, yes, we have Veterans Day, Memorial Day. I'm sure that you guys have those things as well in a different setting. But I don't know. That's interesting that they would say that. As far as like confidence and maybe celebration, I think we are very good at celebrating and we're very overconfident to, again, probably our own detriment because we haven't learned humility. I feel like most Americans, until they go abroad, are extremely ignorant to the outside world. And so we don't have any humility. We've never been like around people who would be considered, I'm not going to say better than us, but of equal footing or yes, maybe better as far as like education and things like this, because we're unaware of them existing. Even like we're not really taught these things. People that go to even China or something, like they go to China, they see like, oh my God, it doesn't look like what we've been told our entire lives. Or like when I told them I was moving to Bangkok, they were shocked. Like, oh, you're moving to like a third world country. I was like, girl, we have robots that clean the malls here. Like, it's more advanced than the United States by a lot. Yes, like there are parts of Thailand that are very rural and are extremely, but they live in like a traditional sense, not necessarily a third world country. And I just think that's such a ridiculous thing to say about things nowadays, especially. But still, it is one of those things where I think like confidence is something maybe you could benefit from, like, because you guys should be more celebratory of your achievements. But then again, like, I think you guys are. Everyone I talk to on here is like always so proud to tell me of all of the things that like England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland has done. And they're like, oh, you wouldn't have this if it wasn't for like someone in England or someone in Scotland inventing it. Or we're so proud of our football teams and our young people for doing this. And I think that that's wonderful, though. I think it's fantastic. You seem extremely proud of your country, and you should be. So I don't necessarily, like, I've seen the confidence. Maybe it's just me that has, and they're experiencing something different, obviously, because they live there every day, whereas I don't. I'm just interacting with you guys. So I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you think that you need to be a little bit more American in your your celebrations. You need to be a little bit more celebratory, more I don't know, happy about success instead of like, oh, why? How did he get that successful? He was like the idiot of our class. No, I enjoyed like more of the humility personally, but I think that, I don't know, maybe they want more celebration. Maybe they want more positivity. I don't know.
Sorry, a band of brothers, a band of sisters, not a brand. Well, it is a brand as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I think that was the end of it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay. So I think what they said overall, though, is correct. I do think that the British military is the best, and I think the things that he said were very true. One, it's been around forever. Like, it's been around for so many years. It was the most powerful military for like a century or something. It was forever. And for such a small island, it took over or created trade or did so many things all around the world. as well as the fact that I have seen your kick-ass military members, like you guys, the World War II ones that I've watched, the documentaries that I've watched, they're amazing. And I love these like men, not so much women in that time frame, obviously, but the men in that time frame were fantastic and just so cool. And your special military, I know, is formidable to say the least. I don't know that much about them. Like they said, this video right here said inside the SAS, the Rurows and only 5% make it. I don't really know what our military numbers would be for like the Navy SEAL or the Green Beret or something like that, which is our like special forces. I'm not sure how many make it. I'm sure it's not a lot, but I think 5% is probably lower than what ours is. I could be wrong, but it would be very interesting to see that. Again, I think that British military is a lot about intelligence. I think that it's very much about skill, intelligence, and as one of the podcast members said in this, where you train. Our training facilities in the U.S. are extremely comfortable. They're like staying in a college dorm. And I don't even know if they do field work. I genuinely couldn't tell you. I think that I'm sure that the Navy SEALs and such probably do more harsh conditions and everything, but I don't think that our regular military do at all. Could be wrong. But yeah, it was really interesting to hear their perspective. I do think 100% to me that the British have the best military. Whether or not they have the best equipment, I don't think is an argument. We probably do, but that's just because of the fact that we spend an inordinate amount of money on it. So there's really no way to compete because we spend I feel like 60% of our taxes on it. I don't even know. But thank you guys so much for joining. Please let me know your comments in the, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the British military, on do you guys think you're still, do you believe you're the best? Why do you think so? Do you think that you could use some of the American confidence instead of the humility that the British have? Or do you think that you like it the way it is and it should stay that way? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.